Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in today. This is a class from my live breathwork class, and I'm going to make this one public and available to everyone because I really just want to accelerate this evolution process on Earth, and I feel like this is a key. This is a key that we all need right now, and I just want to share it. I just want to get it out there, okay? So I'm a human potential coach, and I help people leave the matrix and live more magical lives. And sometimes I get these questions of people being like, oh, but I have a mortgage, and should I just have this soul-sucking, soul-crushing job so that I can pay it off and then be free later? And my answer to that, my perspective as someone who's lived outside of the matrix my whole life, is it's not worth taking a soul-crushing job to have a house. Like, what's the point of having a house if you don't have a soul? So what we're going to look at now is prosperity in the new paradigm, okay? And currently, my career is experiencing a boom, and it's really exciting. And it's like, they say like overnight success that's like 10 years in the making. Like, I've been working so hard on this, and now all of a sudden, like, everything is just being like flooded and booked, and it's really exciting. And so what have I learned from all of that, and how have I been able to do this while completely staying in integrity, not taking jobs that I don't like, completely following the radical instructions of my own heart? Okay, so first of all, this is going to look different for everyone. Prosperity in the new paradigm will be different for you than how it is for me. But what we're going to cover today are some key themes. And we're going to be reprogramming ourselves through breathwork so that it happens automatically for you. Okay, so your own answers are going to come from your heart. So you have to get really good at listening to your heart. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of us out there will have like 3 things that we already know that we're supposed to be doing, like messages that we've received from our higher self that we're just kind of putting on the back burner, or we're like, next year, or okay, let me just hustle really hard, and then when I'm done hustling really hard, I'll get to that. But what I want to say is just start with what you already know. Start following those messages that you have received from your heart of what you already know that is for you on your path in your own unique roadmap to heaven on earth. And if you begin to radically follow these things, the path will open up for you. So about a year ago, my heart told me that I was supposed to be doing everything entirely by donation. And this is something that I have experimented with for about a decade now. Lots of failures, lots of frustration with that, lots of confusion, and a lot of beauty too, and inspiration. But it's like something that like I always knew I was supposed to be doing, but I just like couldn't really click it into place of like, how is that actually gonna work in like a capitalist society? And so about a year ago, I was living in Mexico, and my heart just spoke to me so clearly, and it was like, it's time, like you have to go all the way, all in, and do this. Like my heart was just so loud. And I was like, okay. And I did. And as soon as I started doing that, one of my neighbors began to give me like massive amounts of fruit over the fence, all that, like consistently, like every day. So when we take these leaps of faith, whatever that looks like for you, I'm not telling you you have to do everything by donation. I'm saying like follow your own heart. But even if it feels crazy or feels radical, you can trust the process and trust that you're being supported and that you're linking into a heart grid. And on the level of the heart grid, it's actually a very specific frequency where all of our hearts are linked together in a synchronicity. And so it'll be like, oh my gosh, exactly what you're offering is exactly what I need, or you need something and I happen to have extra. And so we link up together in one heart dream. So take that step. So today, what we're looking at is how true prosperity in the new paradigm is going to come from service. Now, not martyrdom, not being a doormat, but service. And what does that look like? So this already exists a little bit in the old paradigm. So we're going to be looking at what does work from that, but we're going to be taking it to a whole new level, because I'm sure you've seen like commercial, or you see people still trying to like use gimmicks to like hook you into their commercial, and you're just roll your eyes at it. They're like, get this while it lasts because it's almost out, or whatever. And you're just like, ugh, that's so old paradigm. So moving forward, can you imagine what it would be like if we were all really just doing what we loved and like sharing that with each other? And what would the world look like if we were all working like we don't need money and thriving and prospering, right? So let me just go over some of the modules just so I can explain it a bit before we get into the breath work, and then we'll dive into the breath work. The way the breath work works is that it will automatically rearrange things inside of you. So you don't really have to effort. The breath work, we're just going to be doing short little stints of like breathe for 2 minutes, and then do about a 3 to 5 minute guided meditation, then breathe for 2 minutes, then 3 to 5 minutes of meditation, breathe for 2 minutes. And we'll do, today we might do a few more layers than normal. So we'll do about 7 layers of that. Okay. And so the way this works is that it will automatically reprogram you inside by extracting the pure wisdom of your own lived experience in a neutral way. So you'll be looking at the world, noticing what you like and what has been beneficial and worked for you, and what has been harmful. But you'll be taking all of this information and organizing it in a way that's like from God's perspective, because we're working with the gamma brain waves. So it neutralizes the emotional charge and allows you to take the wisdom from all experiences and then amplify the positive grid in a super automatic way that's immediately integrated and will be immediately reflected back to you in your reality. So this can cause big changes in your life. Like it can cause you know, it can cause detox symptoms. It could cause you to want to quit your job or break up with your partner. Like these kinds of therapeutic modalities can cause big change or upheaval in your life. So use with caution and repeat as necessary. And the person that I learned it from recommended only doing one module, which is, we're doing a module today, but one module per week, because it can be so powerful and cause all these like detox symptoms. But when I was learning it, I didn't listen to that, and I just did a whole bunch of sessions per week. I would just like repeat them and had a rapid awakening process. And this breath work that we're doing will also simultaneously awaken. So we're releasing DMT in our brain, and it will also allow us to, it will have other side effects. Like Austin was saying, you'll have more dreams, you'll be able to understand them better. Something that happened for me was I started to understand sacred geometry. I started to be able to have an easier time fasting. And for me, I wasn't afraid of kind of the disintegration process that happens, which was why my teacher was saying go slowly, because I was already pretty disintegrated. So, like nothing left to lose. So it's getting kind of hot. All right, so let's see. What do we have today? So, okay, first we're going to be looking at people in your life who have just like really helped you even without expecting anything. Just people who like were really there for you with a lot of kindness, and they weren't like, okay, now give me $100 or whatever. Then we're going to look at a time when you were working as if you didn't need money, just like really enjoying it and what that feels like. And we're going to be looking at a place or a product or a service that you go to because the service is just so good. You know, I like a few months back, I was traveling through Mexico and I got to Puebla and I went to this like nice restaurant in the plaza, and this waiter was trying to like nickel and dime me for everything, like upsell me in like a sneaky way. Like I asked which plate of enchiladas was better, and like he just told me the most expensive one. Like he wasn't really trying to tell me like which ones were actually better, right? So it just gave me this like bad, creepy feeling. Like he just wanted to like squeeze me for everything I had, you know, which is just makes you kind of like clench your wallet. Whereas if someone is like bringing you, there's another restaurant that I know where they bring you little like samples of little dips and stuff. And it's just like, oh wow, this is complimentary dips, and it just like opens your heart more, you know, to like generosity and feeling like this flow. Similarly, a long time ago, I was driving to work in a dense city, and it was kind of a neighborhood, but there was like a busy congested street going through, and it was like, oh my gosh, I'm on my way to work and there's no way I can get through. No car will let me in. How am I ever going to get in? And someone let me in, and it was so kind and so generous that I just like, after they let me in, I just wanted to let everyone in, like just help, because it felt so good. So kindness is disarming. And so that's kind of what we're looking at, how to align with that frequency in a way that frees up the prosperity for everyone, including ourselves. Let's see. And then we're going to be looking at a time when we didn't behave that way, a time when we were like using someone or acting like that waiter that was trying to squeeze me for everything I had. We're going to reflect on what that feels like. And then we're going to notice what our skill set is. And then we're going to notice people that we admire and how they've contributed to humanity. And then we're going to notice a time where we did something helpful for someone else, and it was just intrinsically rewarding when someone was like really grateful for what you did, and then your heart just gets so full. So we're going to, okay, so I think that's all pretty self-explanatory. You should be able to follow along. It's not too crazy out there today. Okay, so I'll explain the breathwork a little since we have new people. So to begin, you're going to put your hands in one of the mudras. So this is a basic mudra you can use, and this just connects the hemispheres of the brain. Another mudra that I sometimes use is this one, which is similarly also just connects the hemispheres of the brain. So either one that you want to use. And then what we're doing on the final, so we're going to breathe a series of breaths. And on the final breath, we are going to anoint ourselves. So Christ means anointed one. And that is because the pineal gland is connected with the heart, and the fluid, the spinal fluid goes all the way up to the pineal gland. So on the final breath, we're going to, usually I just say squeeze your stomach and then push or pull your hands, and then squeegee your eyeballs and look up. And what that does is it pushes your spinal fluid up and gives you a little hit of DMT on your pineal gland, and it squeegees out your brain to cleanse and decalcify your pineal gland, which will allow you to start getting so many benefits, seeing through the veil, better sleep, animal communication, all kinds of stuff. So we're anointing ourselves with our own spinal fluid. Okay, so the breath work goes like this. I'll just show you before we dive in. The first breath, you're going to exhale all the air out through your mouth, squeezing your stomach. And then it's always inhale, exhale. So to begin, you've already exhaled. So then you start on inhale, exhale, mouth, mouth. So then mouth, nose. And I'll kind of exaggerate my movements in case you get lost and you need to follow along, but you don't have to make your breath audible. Then it'll be nose, nose. It's always inhale, exhale, then nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. So we do 3 rounds of that. And then the last one is always mouth, mouth. And on the exhale, you squeeze your stomach. You push or pull your hands together. You squeegee your eyeballs, look up, and you hold that as long as you can on the exhale. And then you can relax and release everything. Relax your hands, relax everything. And then you just kind of wait. And then I will give you prompts to bring up memories. These memories could be real or imagined. Whatever comes up for you is fine. Use your own discretion. You're even allowed to like go beyond or create, like make it your own and trust your own process, and yeah, do what feels right for you. And whatever memory comes up for you is what's meant to come up for you. So even if I say remember a good memory and bad memories come up, that's exactly fine. That's what's supposed to happen. Or vice versa, if I say remember, what did I say? Bad memories and good memories come up, that's fine. Okay, so just your psyche, your higher self will know what wants to come up to be looked at for you. Okay, so let's get started. You can put your hands in one of the mudras and straighten your spine. Exhale all the air out through your mouth, squeezing your stomach. Then you close your eyes and inhale, exhale, mouth, mouth. Inhale, exhale, mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Last one, mouth, mouth. On the exhale, squeeze your stomach, push, pull your hands together, squeegee your eyeballs, look up and hold as long as you can on the exhale, then relax and release everything. And when you're done holding, you can relax and release everything. You can keep your eyes closed. Okay, so I invite you to remember a time in your life when someone really helped you, where you needed help and someone was so kind to you and someone helped you without expecting anything in return, and they just poured their kindness onto you and you felt so grateful. Now I want you to think of all of the people who have done that for you, all of the kind people who helped you when you needed help, teachers, mentors, kind strangers who helped you out. Just see all those people and their generosity and when they helped you without expecting anything in return. Okay, so we're going to breathe again. You can briefly open your eyes and put your hands in one of the mudras that connects the hemispheres. And then close your eyes and exhale all the air out through your mouth, squeezing your stomach. Then deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose, inhale, exhale. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Last one, inhale, exhale, mouth, mouth. On the exhale, squeeze your stomach. Push, pull your hands together. Squeegee your eyeballs, look up and hold as long as you can on the exhale. Sending your spinal fluid up to your pineal gland till you feel that DMT hit. And then you can relax and release everything. When you're done holding, you can relax and release everything. Relax your hands, and you can keep your eyes closed. And if you're new to this kind of breathing, you will get better at sending the spinal fluid up. And another way to get really good at that is to do all the yogic blocks starting from your the bottom of your spine, your perineum. So you squeeze your perineum, squeeze your stomach, push pull your hands, lock your chin to your jaw, squeeze your eyeballs, and look up. But that's a bit more advanced. So if you're advanced, you can do that. And if not, then just follow along the best you can, and it'll get easier. So now I want you to bring to memory a time when you were having so much fun working. You were doing something that you loved, and you were working like you didn't even need money. You were just enjoying yourself, and you were doing such a good job. You were going the extra mile exceedingly well because you were just having so much fun and you were getting paid for it. Remember that time that you were having so much fun working. It didn't even feel like you were working, but you were getting paid for it. Okay, you can open your eyes. We're going to breathe again. Put your hands in the mudra. Exhale all the air out through your mouth, squeezing your stomach. Deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. 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 Last one, mouth, mouth. Inhale, exhale. On the exhale, you can squeeze your perineum at the base of your spine, squeeze your stomach, push, pull your hands together, squeegee your eyeballs, look up, hold as long as you can on the exhale, then relax and release everything. And when you're done holding, you can relax and release everything. It's normal if you're yawning, tearing, sweating, buzzing. If you need to wiggle it out or stretch, that's also normal. So now I invite you to think of a place or product or service that just gives really good service, quality, start to finish. They treat you well, the product is good, they go the extra mile. Just everything is just top notch service, quality, well done. A place that you like to go or you like to consume, or a product that you get. And just see yourself there and notice everything that you love about it. And remember a time that you were using that product or consuming that thing or whatever it is, service. Noticing everything you love about it. Okay, we're going to breathe again. You can briefly open your eyes, put your hands in one of the mudras, and close your eyes and exhale there out through your mouth, squeezing your stomach. Deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Last one, mouth, mouth. On the exhale, squeeze your stomach, pull your hands together, squeegee your eyeballs, push that spinal fluid up, hold as long as you can on the exhale. Then you can relax and release everything. And when you're done holding, you can relax and release everything. Relax your hands, keeping your eyes closed. And now I invite you to remember a time when you used someone, or you only got close to them because you wanted something from them, or you were only nice to them because you wanted something, like you made friends with the neighbor kids because you wanted their pool, or you went on a date with someone because you wanted a free meal, something like that. And just watch it as if it was a movie, what happened. See yourself in that scenario. And rewind what led up to that scenario. And fast forward, how did that scenario play out? And let's breathe again. You can briefly open your eyes, put your hands in one of the mudras, exhale all the air out through your mouth, squeezing your stomach. Deep breaths, inhale, exhale, mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Last one, mouth, mouth. On the exhale, squeeze your perineum, squeeze your stomach. Push, pull your hands together, squeegee eyeballs, look up, hold as long as you can on the exhale, then relax and release everything. When you're done holding, you can relax and release everything. Release your hands. And now, remember a time when you were really nice without expecting anything, when you were just kind. And now just notice all the ways that you show up in your life in a really kind way without expecting anything. Where do you go the extra mile, even when money's not involved? Or maybe it is, but that's not why you're doing it. Noticing all the ways that you're kind, all the ways that you go the extra mile. Kind without expecting anything in return. Okay, we're gonna breathe again. You can briefly open your eyes, put your hands in one of the mudras, straighten your spine, close your eyes, exhale all the air out through your mouth, squeezing your stomach. Deep breaths, inhale, exhale, mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Last one, mouth, mouth. You're going to anoint yourself on the exhale by squeezing your perineum, squeezing your stomach, pulling your hands together, squeegeeing your eyeballs, looking up, and holding as long as you can on the exhale, and then relaxing and releasing everything. When you're done, you can relax and release everything, keeping your eyes closed. Have a yawn, have a stretch, have a wiggle. Okay, now I want you to think about, let's see, something that you love to do that brings value to people. Like your natural joy gift that people benefit from. Now, remember a time when people were so grateful for what you did. You did something and someone was like, "Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Thank you so much. That really benefited me. That helped me. That inspired me." And just remember how it felt to have your heart really full. And just feel that intrinsic richness of just like the immediate satisfaction that you get from being able to be a contribution or be appreciated just for being yourself. And feel like the payment and the richness in that satisfaction. Like, this is the kind of thing people are going to say about you at your funeral. They're going to be like, "She helped me. Wow, they inspired me." Wow, like that's what you want to be remembered for. Since we're there, let's just, yeah, imagine your legacy. Like, what do you want people to say about you at your funeral? Like, in all the ways that you helped them. Or inspired them. This is your legacy. What do you want your legacy to be? Okay, we're gonna breathe again, and we'll do one more layer and then we'll end. So you can briefly open your eyes, put your hands in one of the mudras that connects the hemispheres. Close your eyes, exhale all the air out through your mouth, squeezing your stomach. Deep breaths, inhale, exhale, mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Last one. Inhale, exhale, mouth, mouth. On the exhale, squeeze your perineum, squeeze your stomach, push both your hands together, squeegee your eyeballs, look up, hold as long as you can on the exhale, then relax and release everything. Feel the spinal fluid rising. And when you're done, you can relax and release everything, keeping your eyes closed. Yawn, stretch, wiggle. Okay, this is the last layer, and then we'll breathe one more time to close. So for this one, I want you to think of all the great humans who have loved their work, been so passionate about their work, and left a contribution to humanity. People who inspire you, who have impacted the field that you're in, or yeah, just people who love their jobs and have contributed to humanity. And just notice how they've done it. Like, just notice the anatomy of their contribution being coming out of their passion, and just look at how that works. Their dedication, service, love of what they do. Joyful service. Where what we love overlaps with what's needed. Okay, let's breathe one more time just to close. You can briefly open your eyes, put your hands in one of the mudras. Exhale all the air out through your mouth, squeezing your stomach. Deep breaths, inhale, exhale, mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Mouth, mouth. Mouth, nose. Nose, nose. Nose, mouth. Last one, mouth, mouth. On the exhale, squeeze your perineum, squeeze your stomach, push pull your hands together, squeegee your elbows, look up and hold as long as you can on the exhale till you feel that hit of DMT in your pineal gland, and then relax and release everything. Okay, when you're done, you can relax and release everything. Stretch, wiggle, yawn. So to everyone who followed along all the way to the end of this, I guarantee you that you will be having more prosperity in your life and that you will be experiencing more soul aligned, joyful, easy, effortless work, service, work that doesn't even feel like work. You're going to be just aligning with your highest joy. People are going to need exactly what you have, and they're going to be so grateful for you, and you're going to be compensated. And something I've learned as I've been on this path of service and blowing up and stuff is that it's not always tit for tat. Like if you surrender to a path of service and you just give, sometimes the abundance shows up from other directions. So say like you go on a podcast and you're not getting paid for it, but then you'll get like other opportunities that will come out of that. Or say that you help someone and they can't afford to pay you at all, but say something really good comes out of that conversation and you make a video about it and it goes viral. So just surrender to showing up in your authentic self and surrender to service and just help, find a balance of not being a doormat and having good boundaries, but also just showing up in joyful service and working like you don't need money. And I promise you that you will find prosperity. Prosperity will find you. Okay? So I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments how that was for you, but you're going to notice in the coming days, weeks, months, things are going to be aligning. You already aligned on the inside. It's automatic. It is done. It integrated. So you will begin to notice changes in your external reality. Okay? And similarly, there's a lot of free breathwork videos on my YouTube page. And currently I have a lot of them public and they're free still. At some point I might put them behind like a payment chart, but like currently they're still free. If you actually go and do those videos, you will have so many things open up for you. Psychic abilities, trauma clearing, like there's so much good information on there, and I feel like I just haven't done a really good job like explaining to people what it actually is, or what's on there or how to use it, but like it's gold. So if you're listening to this, go check out some of the other videos. They're all different. And if you do like a handful of them, your DNA will activate. You will start to have access to your superpowers. Okay. So if you want to join the live class, that's really the most fun part, because we have a small community here of amazing, high vibe, high level, creative, spiritual, dynamic beings. And I'm going to turn this recording off, and then we're all going to share our experiences. And that's where the real richest part of the class comes from, is just hearing everybody else's insights and learning from each other and spiraling up together. So thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment. Let me know how that was for you. And I appreciate all of you. If you need additional support, reach out at lovelikeanocean.com. Thank you.